We've got a huge show this week. We've got the game, Michigan and Ohio State. So I'm going to spend the bulk of this show breaking down the film of these two teams and trying to build them towards success. What do they need to do offensively? What do they need to do defensively in order to have success in this ball game? Let's get right to it. I'm going to start with Michigan. Michigan right now, as you take a look at these two teams, the point differential, the yard differential, the scoring offense, scoring defense, they could not be any more even or, quite frankly, quality. 11-0, 11-0. This game, in a lot of ways, will never be as big as it is this year, in particular as we evolve and move towards the future in college football with a lack of divisions in the Big Ten and the 12-team playoff. So, Michigan, they've been dominant all year long. Let's take a look at their success offensively. And part of this is going to be that they've got a quarterback that can play above the X's and O's. So you take a look at this play against Indiana, and what does J.J. McCarthy do? Well, even when the defense succeeds and plays well and has an advantage, he can still make the offense right. Here, pass rush wins. So what happens? He gets out of the pocket. Now, he's going to put the defense in conflict. Tight end is running over here towards the sideline. He's telling him, go deep. Go deep. Now the defender trailing the tight end is in conflict. He's got to decide at this point, am I going to come up and defend J.J. McCarthy on the run, or am I going to stick with the wide receiver tight end, Colson Loveland, going down the field? Well, he's going to decide, you know what? I got to prevent the first down. I'm going to come up and I'm going to take the quarterback, number 9. And guess what? Wrong decision. Why? McCarthy just dumps it over his head, all because he was coordinating that, orchestrating that, from the spot where he was leaving the pocket, and Loveland's in for a touchdown. So that's just one thing. They got a quarterback that can go above the X's and O's. Now, this is what they do with their run game, okay? They can bring in extra linemen, and what does that do? That presents a problem for the defense because now there are 9 gaps to defend in the run game. Now, Penn State has enough players. They've got 9 players for the 9 gaps, but the problem is it puts pressure that if one guy doesn't do their job, then you can have this where there's one defender on the outside, there's a free gap inside and outside, and Corum can just pick which one he wants. Now, they might get away with a little bit of a hold there, but again, that's an immense amount of pressure on the defense to try to hold up and be gap sound. Here, without the extra linemen, you've got enough Penn State players to defend every gap within that offense. But if one guy doesn't do their job, Blake Corum has the vision and the explosiveness. When you get Chop Robinson, he jumps to the outside. There's 2 Penn State defenders on the outside. Guess what? Free gap. Where's he going to hit it? Corum right there. Bang. He's got the vision and the explosiveness, and he takes off and he scores a touchdown. All right, so this is what they do on the offensive side, and that's what I love about their run game. Now in the passing game, let's take a look at J.J. McCarthy and what he's able to do with the schematics. Okay, so Sharon Moore does a great job using personnel and set to get a look and develop leverage to get Roman Wilson free. He's got 2 tight ends in the game with 1 back and a wide receiver close to the line of scrimmage. That running back is in the pistol formation. What does that do? It invites all the defense up near the line of scrimmage. So you get everyone here. Purdue loves to keep 1 safety back. Now they're going to have this little cheat motion from Cornelius Johnson. As he cheat motions, watch what this does to the leverage of the defense. Right here, he went from being number 2 to now being number 1. That means that Roman Wilson is now number 2, but the corner thought he was number 1. So guess what? He's got outside leverage right now. He's outside of Roman Wilson, but he should be head up or inside because now he's the number 2 release. Well, now you've got all sorts of space exploited by the fact that you've got that heavy play action in the backfield. It draws the linebackers down towards the line of scrimmage, and now you develop this entire area of space where you can exploit it with the leverage, and then you get your fastest wide receiver running away from the defense. And again, only 1 safety, and he's miles back there because that's the way Purdue likes to play their safety. So a great job. So what do they do offensively? Well, they can stress you by J.J. McCarthy could play above the X's and O's. He's just incredibly talented. They stress you with extra gaps and the pressure of knowing that if you jump outside of your gap, they will hurt you in the run game. They're really good at it, in particular Corum. And then lastly is they use their set, their formation, their movement in that motion in order to gain leverage in the passing game. And they can exploit that with speed with Roman Wilson. All right, that's the offensive side. Now let's take a look at the defensive side. What do they need to do? Well, the first thing they need to do is stop the run on first down. If they can do that, they'll get to obvious passing situation, and that's where they really excel with things like stunts up front with their defensive line. So it's really a defensive line game plan for this defense. Let's take a look at the film here. You go back first down against Nebraska. This is what they have to do against Ohio State, is win up front. You see the win right there. Beautiful job by the tackle. I believe that's Kenneth Grant. You get a double team, but that double team is going to be split. Watch them get off blocks. Everybody getting off blocks, and look at all of that maze, if you will, just waiting for the running back. So it's first down. You stop them for no gain. What does that mean? 2nd and 9. It's an obvious passing situation. Well, now what can Michigan do? They can get into what they're strong at up front, and that is creating pass rush. Now, it might not just be a single pass rusher like it used to be with Aiden Hutchinson, but watch them develop leverage and then get themselves free. So this is a stunt. They overload this left side, and then watch these two tackles split in order to get a gap, and now you can loop someone in. But it's not just their ability to run a stunt, it's also to stay sound in the pass rush. So now you see the gap, they're gonna loop in, but you're also gonna get a looper on the outside. What does that do? Well, the quarterback's got nowhere to go. They're sound in their pass rush lanes, and they're getting pressure, and now Tagovailoa's got nowhere to go. He's trying to escape outside, and there's even an outside player right there. Chris Jenkins almost sacks him. He has to throw it away. Last one I'll show you is the same type of deal. These stunts, right? These twists, these turns that they use, they're so good at this, but it starts with first down defense. Here's another one. Now, they don't overload. It's an even defensive line look, but watch them crash this side. They're going to bring the linebacker around on a loop. They get a rusher from this side, and again, there's nowhere for the quarterback to go. So as soon as the quarterback is flushed out, Tagovailoa has to come out, and what happens? He's running right into the looper. Again, sound pass rush lanes through those stunts. They do a beautiful job. It's a sack, it's a fumble, it's Derek Moore, it's a scoop, and it's a score. Whew. So what does Michigan need to do? Well, first thing they need to do is they got to play well running the football. JJ's going to have to play well above the X's and O's, and they need to continue to use those formations to gain advantages on offense. And then defensively, it starts on first down. Can the defensive line hold up against Travion Henderson in that run to get them to 2nd and long and 3rd and long, which is where they excel with those stunts? That's how Michigan builds to success this week in Ann Arbor at home against Ohio State. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.